Hello and welcome to another Raggy's Beers, Wines and Spirits review. Just before it absolutely chucks it down, so I've had to run around the garden, get everything in. I mean, we was in the hot tub and we had one shower of rain, so all my cushions are a little bit damp. Bloody, that's the only problem with outdoor living, is the fact that when it does rain, it's a swine. So, today, I'm going to be reviewing this fella, Batemans Mocha. Had this the day it came out. It was part of Sainsburys Great British Beer Hunt, which was Sainsburys, a beer festival that Sainsburys used to run. Sadly they don't anymore, which is a real shame, because anything the country needs is beer festivals that are like a competition as well. So it's 6% coffee chocolate beer, it's called, and obviously it was the winner of Sainsburys Great British Beer Hunt. A coffee and chocolate stout sensation, it says. Mocha is brewed with genuine Arabica coffee, fine Belgian chocolate and locally grown roasted barley malt. It is rich, dark, enticing and well rounded. So I'm going to talk about some of their beers as well while I'm here. So they also do a vintage ale 2013, so that's a good year, 7-year-old, 7.5% ABV, oak matured, and it's limited release. And it says a special limited edition beer based on a 40-year-old barley wine we discovered in the brewery cellars. The bottles, which were actually the last ever batch of Batemans BBB, had been laid down in the late 70s by George Bateman to be enjoyed in April 1981 to celebrate Stuart Bateman's 21st birthday, but they were forgotten about. The recipe is a blend of malts from Flagon and Tipple barleys and single variety Worcester and Goldings hops having matured in oak. The beer taste of plums, port, malt, brandy, vanilla and almonds. An ale to be celebrated. Bloody hell, how much is that to buy? Oh, it's only £4 a bottle. Oh. God, if I could get myself a bottle of that. The only problem is I don't really want to be buying cases of something, you know, just to get one chuffing bottle. Oh. So there it is, nice and dark pour, like a chestnutty colour, with a slightly off-white head. Oh. Complex, lovely aroma. Now this was what I class as one of my top 10 beers, and then I did a review before, a recent review 6 months or so ago, and there's got to have been something wrong with the bottle because it was nowhere near as nice as I remember it. So let's hope today we get redeemed. I'm hoping so. Oh, lovely milk chocolate, coffee, nice bit of roastedness. Oh, that's lovely. So other beers they do, well, I'll just let that sink in. Let's get to it. They do Rosy Nosy, 4.7%, had this many a time. Fantastic beer. Festive brew, rich fruit, sultana and raisin flavours. Oh, delicious. Also do Victory Ale, a 6% ABV beer. Distinctive peppery hop and bitter orange aroma is followed by big hops and fruit flavours. Do you know, I don't think I've reviewed that. Combined Harvest, I have reviewed this. 4.7%, a multi-grain beer. Triple XB, a classic pale ale, 4.8%. Again, I'm not sure I've reviewed that. Here's a beer that came out just a month or so ago as part of Morrison's big range review. Dark Fruits Porter, 4.6%. Beautiful, beautiful beer. And that's it. That's their bottled, main bottled range. It looks like the rain's holding off. Oh. Just had a lovely hour in the hot tub. Feel a bit more invigorated. Still stressed to bloody high heaven, but can't seem to shake it. I can see me having to go to doctors and get put on some strong tablets. Your brain is a complex beast, isn't it? You know, I wish I could learn meditation and basically convince myself this bugger all along and just get on with life. Now that would be nice. I find that, just going off the subject of beer for a minute, I find that at the moment with what's going off in the world, that the smallest issue can be made into the biggest issue. The person inside me who don't give monkeys needs to reawaken. And yet some things don't bother me. So it's such a strange thing. Oh, bit of thunder there. We're going to get some tonight. Oh dear. So the head's dissipated down a bit now. Oh. I don't know what it is about a dark beer, but a dark beer with lots of flavour, good aroma, good taste, it makes life worth living. It does, it really does. A good beer in your hand, enjoying a bit of life. Oh, it's redeemed itself, tasting like it used to. Thank God. You don't have to put beers down, especially beers you know are one of your favourite beers. And then you drink a bottle and you think, this didn't taste right, you know. And as with anything, you know, things that can happen, can't they, at any stage. And you know, you can just have that unlucky bottle that don't taste as good as its normal high standards do. It was a toss up between this King Goblin and the Old Crafty Hen. I wanted something just to cheer myself up, and then I seen the Mocha and I thought, let's see if it redeems itself. And for those at Batemans, it has. It now know why it won the. I remember why it won the British Beer Hunt that year. Yeah, those beer hunts, they were brilliant. Like 20 odd new beers to try, and there was something daft like £1.50 a bottle. As you can imagine, I had one of every single bottle, and especially if they went down in price, I was buying crates. Castle Rock's Screech Owl, that was on there. Blue Monkey's their brown ale, can't remember the bloody name of it, that was on there as well. Yeah, can't remember the name of it. As you can see behind me, the beer wall is well stocked. In fact, I'm pretty much overstocked. I need to let it lie now for a few weeks. Get down the amount of alcohol and make room for new alcohol, because there's new stuff out there that I'm interested in. And now all the shops are coming back online tomorrow. Should take the stress off the online retailers, which means I might actually be able to order something online and without having to go through some stupid system to get there, like, you know, this vulnerable thing. And yeah, it does you bleeding nothing. Only 20 odd deaths today, something daft like 20 odd deaths, so that's a good sign. I mean, it will bounce back up on Tuesday, because it always does. Sunday and Monday is always the low end of the spectrum. But yeah, looking forward to it bouncing back up as well. So, looking at the wall, some very interesting reviews coming at some stage. I really did go out the other day and buy all my favourites. I've got loads of beers, loads of my favourite beers here, mixed in with all the new beers and wines and ready to drinks and the odd lager here and there and the odd cider here and there as well. And I need to start checking dates because I think some of this stuff's been here a while, so don't want it going out of date by too long a day. Oh, that coffee and chocolate, dried fruit vibes that I'm getting, and oh, it's delicious. Just goes down a treat. It's to me it's soothing. It's I mean, to get that much out of a beer, but yeah, it's it just hits the spot for me. It doesn't get rid of the mental health issues that I'm currently going through, but it does. It cheers you up, you know. And the best beer, the best time, the best drink is with friends having a laugh, isn't it? You know, and not getting too drunk, because getting too drunk is always the worst thing. But having a drink, having a laugh, and letting life disappear. Now that is the way to go. And obviously for a lot of people they've not been able to do that with this lockdown. Obviously all the idiots that don't give a shit about the lockdown have been doing their thing. I mean, I read on the news today, you've got all these marches going off all around Britain, and yes, what has now happened is this Black Lives March has brought out the leftist, you know, the really far left, like the far left Labour people coming out wanting to slag off the government and doing their best to piss about with all these statues. And then what does that do? That brings the far right out, the true racists. And now, you know, so the Black Lives thing is being swamped by these two other groups. So now the message is lost, you know. And now you read on the news that there's 3 raves in Manchester, illegal raves, 6,000 people, 6,000 fucking idiots that are going to a rave, all there coughing and spluttering over each other's, fucking filling each other's up and all that, and they're taking that home. So all these, and judging by the pictures, they're mostly early 20s, late teens, early 20s. Are these people thick? If they've got elderly relatives or anybody who's got any pre-existing conditions in their family, taking that home to their family, I just can't weigh it up. I really can't. I mean, there's people that are scared stiff. I was outside Lidl 2 days ago, Friday, 3 days ago, 2 days ago, yeah, 2 days ago. And I watched this little old lady, and you know, really pulled the old heartstrings. And she's got gloves on, 2 lots of gloves. She's got a face mask on, and obviously, you know, old people are scared shitless. You know, I'm concerned about it. Going over, washing my bloody hands, carrying disinfectant around with me, and then you see this little old lady, and she's trying to put her shopping into the bag, and you look at all the hand sanitizer. She's got 4 bottles of hand sanitizer, and then she's putting her shopping into the shopping trolley, and you think, flipping heck, why is she doing that? Why is she going out? Where is the community? Because the community should be looking after her. Somebody knows her, or should know her, should be helping her, you know. The 2 people's gardens who I look after, and she was really struggling as well. And I'm in the queue, can't do fuck all, but I'm in the queue, and I'm looking at her, and it's making me tear up. And you know, and then I've seen on the news, I think it was the Sikh community, and they're using their religious halls to make food. I mean, it was all curries and all that sort of thing, and handing it out not only to their community but to all communities. And that, to me, you know, I love that. That's how we should all be. None of this colour doesn't matter a shit. You know, we're all in this together, and we'll all die together if we don't fucking obey some of the rules at least. But when community comes together, it's a fantastic thing. I mean, we do our bit here for our neighbour across the road, who she's on the shielding list, and we've got neighbours next door, but they've come out of coronavirus, so they're all right. And then we've got a very strange neighbour next door to us who's, but you know, he's a case altogether. But yeah, we go and fetch her medicines, and if there's anything she wants, she only has to ask. And you know, we're only across the road, so keep looking out the window, making sure that her lights keep coming on and off, and that, while not being too overly getting involved and being nosy, because people don't want that, you know. But yeah, but going back to that old woman, we shouldn't, you know, if people, I mean, I know a lot of people are proud and don't want the help, but when you see them struggling, putting the shopping into a basket, you know, for somebody there to walk over to her, and in the supermarket there, you know, in the supermarket, somebody who's waiting for the shopping to be served, say, excuse me, would you like a bit of help? And do it for her. So you stand there, I'll put it in, yeah? Just make sure you wipe it down when you get home, you know. You don't want to bring anything into your house. And yeah, that's how it should be. It does break your heart sometimes, the world we live in, you know. But there are a lot of good people out there, obviously. I mean, I've got friends who are volunteering. They're both, he's furloughed, Andrew, a friend of mine, and him and his partner, they're going out on Sundays taking food, and I think they make it themselves, dinners, kind of cottage pies and stuff like that, and taking it out, volunteering it for the community. You know, they're not short of money, and isn't that what all people should do? You know, if you've got the spare money and you can do that, then I think it should be done. Because obviously not everybody who's elderly knows the internet, knows Facebook. You see these COVID groups, and they're great, 'cause some of the people on there, there's some selfless people on there. Obviously there's always probably the dodgy buggers, but for the vast majority, selfless people. We were struggling to get nappies for my, I think it was my niece, and you know, we had offers from all over Nottingham saying to me, because I only asked for my niece, you know, if there's anywhere where there's any nappies, and they were going to fetch nappies and take them round, and that hits the spot, you know. Good people. Too many, you know, the people that just care for themselves, not worth it, are they? You know, and there's too many of them about who just think they matter in this world. But anyway, back to the beer. It's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure reviewing it. Pleasure chatting, going off golf course, putting the world to rights, as sometimes I do, and getting quite emotional with it. I think sometimes I just need to sit back and watch a tearful film. Maybe that would alleviate my stress, watching something that makes you burst into tears. Maybe. So, today, my friend sat here has totally brought itself back to me. Coffee and chocolate on the nose, chestnut colour, off-white head. That coffee and chocolate go all the way down, never changes, never loses what it had. And in there I got dried fruit and other complex flavours that are in there. And I've got to say, that's 6% beautiful. The taste, bang on. Overall, a cracker. As good as it was the day it came out, and I remember when it came out, I was working at Sainsburys at the time, as part of the beer hunt. And then it got, shortly after the beer hunt, it was made permanent. I'm not sure if it's still there now though, because Sainsburys have gone. Yeah, they need to learn a lot from Morrison's, but that's politics, and we don't get into politics. Maybe not. Well, maybe. Yeah. But anyway, out of 5 then. Back to where it belongs. 4.61 out of 5. Absolute barnstorm of a beer. Loved it. Cracking beer, Batemans. Cheers. And that's it from this very long beer review. I do apologise for the length of the review. Sometimes it's nice just to chat and get a few bits about the stupid people in this country who are fucking it up for the rest of us. But hey-oh, you know, people get their comeuppance in the end, unfortunately. But it's the innocents that don't deserve it that's the worrying thing. And let's hope in a few months we're out of this lockdown situation and return to a more normal lifestyle. Well, at least in the UK, at least, and Europe. Well, it's going to be a while in some parts of the world. And when it hits Africa, oh my God, it's going to ravage Africa. We need vaccines. And we also need the Chinese to stop eating bats or whatever they were doing. Ugh. And that's it from this beer review. A long beer review. Hopefully a good one. Please let me know. And as always, thank you for subscribing. We are now over 700 subscribers. Well, when we get to 1,000, we're going to have some laughs. Because when I get to 1,000, as I've seen with some other beer reviewers, like doing their virtual pubs, but they ain't got a virtual pub. This is a virtual pub. Hey? I could host 4 or 5 people in here and we'd be getting peed up for days. And that's before we touch any of the review stock. But anyway, thanks for watching. Thank you for subscribing. And as always, stay safe. See you soon. Cheers.